A really big welcome to the Salon Chat Room podcast with Angeline Hayden, founder of Midas Customer Service Training and Salon Solutions, and Kerry Humphreys, founder of Locate Your Look. Please help us welcome our guests for today. We are sure you'll be suitably entertained and learn something new and inspiring about our amazing industry. We would like to introduce our guest for today. Our guest is Sharon Cox, Educational Director for the award-winning salon group Sanritz. So, hi everybody, and I'd like to welcome you to the Salon Chat Room podcast. And today we have our guest, Sharon Cox, who is the Educational Director for Sanritz. But we have a different topic, actually, although we will be including hair and hairdressers. So, Sharon, it's really, really great to have you with us today. And what we're going to be talking about is Kundalini Yoga. Is that right? So
that's correct.
If you can just let our listeners know a little bit about your journey, really, how you found Kundalini Yoga and just a little bit about it.
Yeah, no problem. Well, first of all, I think when I look back in my life, I am, as you said, educational director for Sanritz. My job is I've helped develop the Sanritz brand. So we have 7 salons. We have an education centre in central London. My role is I travel all over the world. I always say I'm the luckiest girl in the world because I have a great job that sort of, gives me lots of opportunity. But with that, obviously, like all hairdressers, I then went on the salon floor 2 days a week as well, because I wanted to prove to myself that I could be a great educator as well as be a salon hairdresser and run a salon. So I sort of was doing it all, and I found that my energy levels were really low. And, like everybody in this very busy time, I needed something to take me out of what I was my professional self and explore a different way to be within myself. So that's how I came into Kundalini Yoga, first of all.
Amazing. And can you just explain to our audience who are not familiar with Kundalini Yoga, just maybe the benefits of practicing this type of yoga and also maybe how they can access the information?
Yeah, so, well, first of all yoga has one focus. The whole idea of any yoga is to bring union to the body. But with Kundalini, it's slightly different in the fact that Kundalini Yoga it has 3 elements. So it has what we know as a yogic practice, asana, which is the postures, the exercises, the physical side that people would enjoy. But then it's very much to do with pranayama. So pranayama is the life force, it's the breath force. And we believe that your first and last breath, constantly to regenerate the body, it's to do with oxygen and life. And so breath is really important. So a lot of the practice is pranayama. And then there's a third element, which is meditation and mantra. So meditation and mantra, some people think, oh, it's a hippie thing, but it's not at all. Meditation, the word, so meditation, mantra is mind and vibration. The word mantra means mind and vibration. So when you put these things together, it's about the vibration and the energy within the body. And so when you're looking at the physical, the emotional and the mental aspects combining gives you like a really whole self. So for me, the 3 aspects were very important: to be able to be space and quieten the mind and control the mind, as well as the physical side of the exercise. And the benefits are obviously more youthful. One of the things that we say is that if you've got a flexible spine through the asana and the practice, that you will stay youthful because the energy will keep moving along the spine. So that will keep us young and healthy. I'm much calmer. I don't scream at clients and staff anymore. So I'm much more calm.
Be good.
I try to always think before I even say anything, whereas before I was very much about me. You know, we have a joke in our house. My daughter bought me a cup for Christmas once that said me, basically. Oh. So it takes the me out of me and allows me to create some space of how I want to be, whether I'm doing a yoga exercise or whether I'm working with staff on a motivational or disciplinary. I've got the support of Kundalini Yoga to be able to be my true self in how I want to perform in situations.
That's unbelievable, Sharon. So is it resetting yourself in a way that you can do it yourself to reset your energies and to use those energies for those purposes?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the idea of it is that you know, really the energetics of the frequency of working with the physical and the side of the support with the meditation, you're enabling to just really be grounded and make choices that aren't connected to the ego. So they're really being able to control the physical and the mind and the body in one.
That sounds incredible.
It sounds really, yes, it sounds really, really interesting. It sounds really like in sort of kind of that mindset of, so yoga is really good for the mind and the body and the soul and everything.
Absolutely.
So do you do any other exercise apart from that?
Do I do? Well, I'm quite busy, so I start my morning at 6 a.m. I do. The thing with anything is it teaches you a discipline. So every day at 6 a.m. I do an hour and a half before I begin work. So my 6 till 7:30 every morning, wherever I am in the world, I set up with a daily practice. And then I go to work. What else do? I spend a lot of time doing yoga, so I do it at least 3 nights a week. I do it every morning for an hour and a half. Sunday I did 4 hours. So wow. I'm very disciplined in what I do, but you don't have to do it like that. Yoga's for the household. So even if you just do, 11 minutes, we can teach you 11 minutes of breath work that you can do for 40 days, because to change a habit, it takes 40 days. So if you've got a behavior or you've got something where you want to not necessarily change, but in a different space with that, then if you do something for 40 days regularly, it becomes a different habitual thing. It changes that discipline. I don't really have a lot of time with hairdressing, running salons, running businesses, and traveling. Not so much now more. I'm missing my traveling very much. But what it's really good is, in lockdown, the first lockdown, it really enabled me to really take some time out and realize that I love my hair, I love teaching, I love the international, I love running salon, I love all of that, and I love also my life with the Kundalini, and having that space of knowing that I was going in the right direction, rather than what my husband says is creating and collecting chaos. Because, a lot of us, it's a great word, that, isn't it? Collecting chaos.
Yeah,
I'm sure if we're all honest,
we're all guilty of that. Yeah.
I'm definitely guilty for that.
Yeah, exactly. So, so within the lockdown this year, because I've been hairdressing alone with Stan Ritz for many, many years, I've taken that space to go, actually, yeah, this is really good for me. It's supported where I am. I'm really enjoying the work I'm doing. Yeah. And I've got the support of the physical and the meditation that helps me develop to be even more and busier, because I've got that support network underneath me.
Did you find also that having the time to do the Kundalini yoga in lockdown maybe took you to a higher level?
So I've been doing it, definitely to a higher level. And obviously we say, don't ever, when you feel a discomfort in a position, you'll know, listen to your body and never hold a position if you feel that you can't. But if you can, you use your breath, because it's about pushing yourself slightly, but in a very safe way. Yeah. So in the lockdown, I definitely did a lot more, but I did a lot of work as well. But for me, it's a discipline and it's a repetition. So if you want to do anything, nothing comes, you've got to practice it, haven't you? If you want to run and you want to do a marathon, which I keep saying I'd love to do, but I can't even jog.
I couldn't think anything
even
worse,
though my
actually.
breath probably would be really supportive with that, but I can't. Yeah, you've got to give that time and that dedication and that discipline. And one of my mentors said to me, Sharon, there's time for everything in your life. It's how you use it. And that's been an amazing piece of information, because I just go back to that and just think, you know, do I really want to do this? Well, if I do, then I need to make time, you know, and I need to be disciplined. And that discipline will support other elements within what I'm doing in my work, my life. You know, when you're in a household where you're doing a lot of meditation and yoga, you don't need to worry about the energies, because the energy within the house the vibration will settle into, I've got a 19-year-old daughter, and I know that my energy in the house the vibration is really, really creating and supporting her, even though she knows she doesn't know it, you know, because it's running through the house and the system. So it's brilliant in all ways.
Incredibly powerful by the sound of it.
It's very powerful. Yeah.
Sharon,
So,
can we access this online then? So in this industry, we all sort of kind of live really hectic lives. So a lot of business owners are also parents, aren't they? So they're struggling with time, but if they can get it online, it's...
definitely.
As you say, you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do it. And
So just a little bit about me. I did my training. I finished it at the beginning of this year, and I did a year's instructors level 1. And I did it whilst working 6 and 7 days a week and all of that. So and we, together with some of my teachers, we formed a Facebook group called Kundalini Lotus. So if you go onto Facebook and you want to know any information at all, you just become friends with, put a request in for Kundalini Lotus. We also have a Kundalini Lotus community, where we also have a support for community. So for people that join the community, and it's supposed to be creating almost like a community, conscious community of people that are like-minded. So I think the best way they can join we do a class on a Monday via Zoom at the moment. I may also be looking at starting a beginner's class via Zoom, but I think the main thing is to go onto the Kundalini Lotus Facebook page.
That's really good to have that community.
And also, actually, they can always, I'm on Instagram under Sharon Cox Professional. That's my professional hairdressing. But if they message me, I can put them into the correct place.
What advice would you give to hairdressers who are actually really thinking about this? Because as you were saying, it's about spine and posture, and we all know doing hair, being in a set position for a long period of time, maybe hairdressers are always, you know, can you just massage my shoulders for me? And, you know, so what would you say to hairdressers? Maybe just give it a go, you know, try it, see how they do it. Would they have to do maybe 1 or 2 classes to really find the benefits?
Yeah, I think you've got to experience it. I mean, I do sometimes. I use it in my training sometimes, even if so a lot of time if I'm in Italy and I've got a bunch of hairdressers and they're doing an education with me, to break barriers, I do lots of breathing things to start us off, and silly things to get them out of themselves first of all, because I think the first of all is breaking down that ego. You can then be in a space that you can absorb and you can open. So I use it in lots of ways, but in the salon for hairdressers, especially shoulders, you know, just sitting. Sometimes I've got staff where, you know, some of my team, I'll give them a massage, and then I go, just sit for 5 minutes in the corner, just do simple shoulder shrugs, and just use your breath and just do simple shoulder shrugs. So there's small bits that you can do, but I think to really get the true feeling of it, you need to be in a class. So I would suggest that they join a class first of all. And there's loads of classes via Zoom, or they can just go onto our Facebook page.
How long does the class last? How long is it?
So a typical
1 hour and a half, I think.
Yeah, so an hour. A normal Kundalini yoga class is 1 hour and a half. So we normally tune in. So we normally just tune in, which is just like a few words to set your energies to begin, and then you start a normal set of actual physical exercise, And it doesn't need to be, it's not like a heavy, different kriyas, which is the process of a class we call a kriya, is usually around 45 minutes with roughly about 9 exercises. So you do a 45-minute set, and then there's always usually an 11-minute meditation after that, and then a relaxation period. And the relaxation is really important. And that's anything between 7 and 11 minutes, because that's where the process of what you've just done really needs to settle in the body and take place within the body. So most, if not all, classes would run around about an hour and a half to get the full benefit. But for people that, for example, if they had a taster session and they did an hour and a half, then we could set them like an 11-minute exercise that they do every day for 40 days, and that could be it. And they could just gentle 3-part breath. Most people breathe through anxiety, through just their stomach. But if you're taught to breathe properly, you can breathe through the chest and the shoulders, that whole energy of breathing properly. So even just to teach a hairdresser how to breathe properly for 11 minutes every day, that would be the biggest improvement for them, and they'd see a massive difference.
It would be, because it, like you were saying before, it's all about refocusing, isn't it? The energies. Yeah. Exactly. And also taking time for yourself to be aware of how your body feels, which very often in a busy salon, especially when we come out of lockdown, it's going to be manically busy. So just those 11 minutes, I would imagine, are going to be hugely beneficial.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, I'm going to be the same. I've got us set at working 7 days for the whole of December to make up our losses for November. So, I will be one of those working on clients every day the same. But if you can just take that time out, and instead of lying in bed and thinking I'll have another 5 minutes, just use that space to get up, sit with yourself for 11 minutes before your day prepares. And your energy within the day will be a very, very different space. It will give you a support system throughout the day, that when you're very busy and you're back to back and you may be behind and you're stressing out, you can just connect to that morning breath, and it will put you in a different sense of space. It will calm you, it will relax you, and it will just set yourself up for the next stage of that day.
Sounds amazing. I don't know why anybody wouldn't do
it. Sorry, Kerry.
Is that something that salons could actually bring into their sort of kind of salon, so their business, so they could do this sort of kind of 11-minute sort of start of the day for their team or anything like that? Would that?
Yeah, well, I mean, when I first did my training, I was thinking, like at first I didn't even think about how it connects to hairdressers. And then I thought, here's me. I've gone into it because I'm stressed. My physical body, I'm at a certain age, I won't discuss that, but I'm a certain age where I want to be in optimum health. I don't want to be in the next 10 years of my life thinking, my energies are low. I want to be at the highest peak and working to productivity of myself. So that's why I thought initially, why not use it in the environment that I'm used to? Because that's why I've got into it. So yeah, definitely. I mean, I do. At the beginning of lockdown last time, I had the whole team in Saturday mornings before we begin doing an immune system booster, which is basically just left nostril breathing with a fast breath. And so some of them kept up with that, and that was to protect them for, obviously, the process that we were going to go through in lockdown. So it was to build their immunity. So I play with bits with my teams. But yeah, definitely, in Japan, when I travel into Japan, the first thing that they do in the morning is they have a morning meeting and they process what they're going to do in the day, and that's something that we brought into our businesses straight away. Every morning, we all have a meeting. We talk about what we're going to do. But yeah, the only thing that I would say is, like all things, it has to come from that person. So it has to be somebody that's open and wants to do it. So for me, that's why I don't enforce it. I'm on Zoom and I'm teaching every other day for Sanritz hairdressing. And one day a week, I run a yoga class for our Sanritz members. So we have our directors on it, we have our staff, not all, some do, some don't, but it's got to be personal choice, because unless that's personal choice with anything, as you know, then, you know, the benefits aren't going to be there. So I think if you're going to bring it into a hairdressing environment, definitely, but gently in what we do, and making sure that the staff are open to doing it.
Yeah, because today was the first day that I've ever heard of it. So it's new to me. So there must be loads of people like myself that have never heard of it. So, and I'm now, after listening to you, I'm very intrigued to learn more about it. So
that's good, good.
Yeah.
So there is a book that might be helpful for people. One of the if you're a young an Instagrammer, as I say, there's a girl called Guru Jagat. And she wrote a book called Invincible Living, and that has been like a really support network. It takes you to really understanding Kundalini in a different level, because it is a technology and it's a philosophy, and there's so much more to it. I mean, we've just spoken like tasters of what it is, but it's a whole lifestyle choice. So that's Guru Jagat. She is on Instagram. And also you can go onto Amazon and buy the book. It's Invincible Living. But by all means, anybody that is interested and wants to do more, they can go on the Kundalini Lotus Facebook page, or they can message me at Sharon Cox Professional. And that's my hair, but I can direct and help in any way, because I just feel that for me, it's been life-changing. It's a massive life changer. And my energies are totally different, you know, and I'm coming from a different place. I'm not forcing my energies where I would work 7 days a week and be living on adrenaline. My energy and my space is in a very different space. It's out of choice. And I'm even wanting to give more time because I'm in a different place. So yeah, definitely. Anybody that wants a little bit more information, I'm happy to help.
Yeah, because I do think this industry, especially when I was in the industry, sort of running a salon and running a team, you do actually live off adrenaline, don't you? You just constantly go in, and you don't realise until Sunday comes how exhausted you really are. So
well, exactly. And for me, it was, you know, I only looked at me, and this isn't all hairdressers, but me as a whole. I'm a vegetarian. I don't drink enough water. My diet's quite bad. I go all day without eating. I used to. I'm not like that now, but I would. I go really bad. I would be living on the next and pushing myself all the time, constantly, because I want to be the best. You know, all of those things. And then I would be taking on my clients' information. You know, I'd be taking on all their emotional baggage as well as all your staff emotional baggage, and then you'd have your boss calling you, or all of these things that is just a normal hairdressing life. But I just think that when you can learn to, you know, I go into a staff meeting and I'll use certain hand positions, or I'll be with a client and I'll create a protection on my aura so that her energies don't, you know, come onto mine. And this is going really deep, but there's so many things that we can do through our Kundalini that can protect us, you know. And it, you know, my teacher I was with on Sunday, and she said to me, you know, a very good thing, you know, do you observe or do you absorb? You know, do you observe or do you absorb? You know, that is just 2 words. That is the most amazing thing, you know.
Especially
and by
negative energies.
Exactly. So, you know, you can learn to put protective energies around you. You can focus on, you know, your aura, just certain hand mudras in a negative environment can protect you or build your energy. You know, it sounds crazy, but, you know, we do a lot of shows. I've been locked in the toilet for 2 minutes just doing when I feel that I'm getting out of control, and I just remove myself and go and do some left nostril breathing, and then I come out and I'm like, wow, I'm ready for action. I'm much calmer.
Unbelievable. And Sharon, for our audience, obviously, that are now beginning to understand Kundalini Yoga and all the benefits that it has, can you just name maybe 3 things that it has either taught you or you feel better about, or the benefits? 3 key things.
So what would those 3 things be?
It's probably
so
100,
but... I would say discipline, health, and listening. I would say those are the three things that it's really taught me and helped. Those are the three things that I would say the key things from what I'm doing has helped me.
Amazing. Okay. So if they want to get in touch with you, you mentioned about the Facebook page. We're really hoping that everybody comes on board with this, at least has a look at it. But I think, listening to Kerry and myself, I think we are intrigued. And I think I'm definitely going to have a look at it, because this is very much out of my comfort zone. And I, who knows? I mean, this could lead to something for us as well as a whole range of people out there. Brilliant.
Exactly. And it would be great, just to see, I teach hairdressing. That's what I do. That's what my love is. But, to get like-minded people where we can use our, creativity in a different way and combine, breath work with maybe, like I teach how to hold scissors a certain way, but that is repetition of a movement, and how do we then change that shoulder position by constantly holding the scissors? What do we do to get rid of those aches and pains? So my next process is that I'm going to design a kriya or a course of exercises for a typical hairdresser's body that then will help to work with the shoulders, maybe work with their base chakra, their base, their feet, get the energies moving. So, it's really interesting.
That's amazing. I'm sure that you'll have welcome audience for that. Most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
So do we have any other questions, Kerry? Is there anything do you want to ask Sharon for our audience? Or Sharon, have you got anything to add to this?
No, I would just say that, just come and try it. That is the most important thing. There are lots and lots of benefits, and the benefits with Kundalini show quicker than most yogas because of the energy moving quickly. So, but with all things, you have to experience it. So come and join our Monday evening class. It's usually 7:30 till 9 via Zoom at the moment. It's not a big group. It's a small group, but it's people that are there for the reason of, connecting and enjoying what we're doing.
Amazing.
Great.
So, thank you so much, Sharon. So we've been
thank you, Angeline and Kerry.
Who is the educational director with Sanritz. And I think we've all learned a little bit more about Kundalini Yoga, and I think we'll all look forward to maybe having a go.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
A big thank you to our guests today for giving up their time to share their own salon industry journeys. Don't forget to sign up to our channels so you don't miss out on the amazing guests we have lined up just for you. Big love from Kerry Humphreys, founder of Locate Your Look, and Angeline Hayden, founder of Midas Customer Service Training and Salon Solutions. See you next time on the Salon Chat Room podcast.